You know, Him, it was just recently that we heard news that the origins of COVID may never be known, and now there are new claims coming in.
Absolutely, Shivan. In fact, I was just thinking about that, but now there seems to be new reports that are emerging. It's been 3 years. While no longer a global emergency, people, of course, still are living with the effects of COVID-19. But now some startling claims have been made by a journalist, a Wuhan researcher that she interviewed, claiming that the virus was indeed developed as a bioweapon.
It's extremely startling. A researcher from the Wuhan Institute of Virology has made this astonishing claim that coronavirus was purposely engineered by China to infect people. His name is Zhao Shao. A researcher said his colleagues were given 4 strains of the virus to find out which could spread best.
Now, Shao made this shocking revelation in an exclusive interview back in 2021. Now, that's important. It was back in 2021 with Jennifer Zeng, a member of the International Press Association, who provides first-hand information and unique insights about China and the Chinese Communist Party.
The researcher called the coronavirus a bioweapon. He also mentions that several of his colleagues went missing during the 2019 military World Games in Wuhan. Some of his colleagues even revealed that they were sent to hotels where athletes from various countries were staying to check the health or hygiene conditions. Shao suspects that his colleagues were sent to the hotels to spread the virus. However, Shao said that this is just a small piece of the entire puzzle. So far, the true origin of the pandemic is still under exploration.
And to know more about the other revelations made by Shao, we earlier also spoke to Jennifer Zeng for better understanding. Jennifer explains why she chose this timing for the disclosure of the findings, considering that this is a 2021 interview. So why is it coming up now? Jennifer explains.
If I told you, you may not believe it. He actually told me he had tried to contact some media. And I myself also contact some media. But you know, as regular media, especially big ones, they request to do the interview themselves so that they can, you know, I understand that. If because I'm also a reporter, if I don't have the direct access to the interviewee, it will be very hard for me to trust that person, or unless it comes from a very big news organization, I may tend to trust. But if I can't have access to the interview myself, I can hardly. It is very hard for me to just use it as is, even if I did have tried to give the interview to some of media organizations, including, I think I might have already also contacted your channel, in fact, because I was interviewed by quite several Indian channels, but I haven't heard back from anybody. Also, one channel, actually, the reporter talked with me for a while, but ultimately her editor decided against her. So it is very hard. I know, because the revelation was so shocking. As a former media outlet, they would be very careful. And my interviewee, before he approached me, he did approach some major channels here in United States, but nobody came, responded. And later he figured it was very risky if he got exposed to too many people, because dealing with me, he only needed to deal with me, one person. No second person know his identity. That's his condition of talking with me.
We also spoke to Jennifer Zeng about what stopped her from publishing this interview earlier.
I can't, I really can't reveal the reason. This is such important revelation and with many issues involved. This is what I can only reveal. I'd like to release it as quickly as I could, but conditions just don't allow it.
And we also spoke to Jennifer Bachacha's whereabouts and the last time that she had any communication with him.
It's up to everybody's choice. I posted the full transcript of the interview so everybody can make a choice whether they want to believe it or not, and they can do further investigations about of themselves. But this is, for me, I think, a very important piece of information for me to not to disclose. Even after nearly 2 years, I still feel it's important to disclose. As a reporter myself, I think I'm an experienced reporter who has worked in this industry for over 2 decades. I did my own due diligence. Like you are asking me all sorts of questions. I also asked my interviewee all sorts of questions to decide whether I should trust what he said and whether I should go ahead with the interview. I talked with him and he showed me a lot of things which convinced me that that what he said is true and I should go ahead with the interview. There's no other considerations.
Jennifer also explains why one should believe in the disclosures that were made to her.
It's up to everybody's choice. I posted the full transcript of the interview so everybody can make a choice whether they want to believe it or not, and they can do further investigations about of themselves. But this is, for me, I think, a very important piece of information for me to not to disclose. Even after nearly 2 years, I still feel it's important to disclose. As a reporter myself, I think I'm an experienced reporter who has worked in this industry for over 2 decades. I did my own due diligence. Like you are asking me all sorts of questions. I also asked my interviewee all sorts of questions to decide whether I should trust what he said and whether I should go ahead with the interview. I talked with him and he showed me a lot of things which convinced me that that what he said is true and I should go ahead with the interview. There's no other considerations.
And Jennifer also tells us if she has shared these findings with the WHO. Let's listen in.
No, I have not shared this information with WHO. I shared this information with several congressperson, including, senators, and there are several, investigation group within the U.S. Congress. But only one staff member called me back and asked me to send the information to an email address he offered. I did, but I didn't hear back. I didn't contact WHO because from the very early stage of the pandemic, I've been sharing information and I've been criticizing the WHO of towing the CCP line. At some stage, especially the early stage, they acted as if they were the spokesperson of the CCP. So I don't really have much trust. Maybe they are better now, but I don't have much trust with the WHO. So no, I didn't share this information to them. So now my understanding now is the best person to trust is the public. I tried some media outlets. I tried U.S. congressperson, senators, but I didn't get much encouraging response.